Hello viewers, this is your Michael from Screen Review, my 487 podcast. This is my 487 podcast. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly in case you don't understand me. Also, I'll try to do my best not to beat your heart during this audio podcast recording well, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording would if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will take your adult language. Now, if you're over 18, that means you got to watch this audio podcast recording. So anyway, let's get into the topic of this podcast. I know that recently, recently that the Star Trek series has been seeing a sequel series, and also the recent season of Star Trek: The Lower Decks has featured a episode dedicated to Star Trek: Deep Space Nine, being the third Star Trek series in the franchise. So basically, there was a lot of hype. It turned out that that episode was the highest viewed episode of the first season of Star Trek: The Lower Decks. So basically, everybody's wondering when is Deep Space Nine getting its own sequel series? It's going to get a sequel series as well. As you know, Picard is Star Trek. Picard is a sequel for Next Generation. Star Trek Policy is a sequel to Star Trek Voyager. So basically, everybody's been wondering when is Deep Space Nine is going to get its own sequel series. So basically, everybody, the writers and the producers, the writers and showrunners of Star Trek Deep Space Nine wanted to go longer with Deep Space Nine, but due to some reasons, with the network and whatnot, they couldn't really go. They were able to go to 7 seasons, but they wanted to go more with more seasons. But there was some dispute over that. But Deep Space Nine ended with 7 seasons. So anyway, the showrunners, the writers for Deep Space Nine, saying that they still, there was a documentary series about what they wanted to really do for a final season for Deep Space Nine, but they was not able to do so because at the end of the series, at the end of the series after 7 seasons and whatnot. So anyway, everybody's been wondering when is Deep Space Nine it's going to do? When is the Star Trek franchise is finally going to do a Deep Space Nine sequel series? So basically, a lot of ideas has been posted around and whatnot. So basically, one of the main ideas for a new Deep Space Nine sequel series is that following the children of Cisco, following the life of Cisco's 2 children. Now we know that that Nicholas has 2 children. His son Jake and his child with Cassie Yates, his second wife. So basically, if you watch Deep Space Nine, the final season of Deep Space Nine, it ended on with Cisco's second wife being pregnant. So basically, a lot of ideas that Cisco's second child is now a Starfleet officer, and they want to. The idea is to have Cisco's second child, who be stationed at Deep Space Nine and pick it up where her father left off, and trying to find out what really happened to her father, trying to find out what happened to her or his father. We don't know the gender of Cisco's second child. But other people presume that Cassie Yates, and some of the novels and whatnot that Cisco had a girl, so basically, or was it a boy, another boy and whatnot. But anyway, but a lot of people, so basically, I think this time was based off how well that the Deep Space Nine episode did, the Deep Space Nine episode did in Lower Decks. I think it's time to really to get Deep Space Nine the sequel series that it deserves. So basically, what type of sequel? Most likely, I feel like it would be better off in animation because it makes more sense because they can do a lot more in animation and then in real action in real life action. So basically, they could I feel like this Deep Space Nine sequel should be a animated series. So anyway. So anyway, I'm just hoping that, there's some rumors going around that, there's some rumors going around that the cast of Deep Space Nine would like to come back and do a sequel series like the other actors from the previous Star Trek series, such as Next Generation and Star Trek Voyager. So basically, a lot of people, a lot of the cast members from Deep Space Nine are interested to. Now the original cast members for Deep Space Nine are interested of coming back and doing a sequel series to Deep Space Nine. So basically, I'm hoping that Paramount and the heads of the Star Trek franchise will probably give us a Deep Space Nine sequel that will probably give us answers. That will reflect the original vision of the original Deep Space Nine series. So anyway, what do you guys think? Do you guys want to see a Deep Space Nine sequel? Yes or no? Please let me know in the comments below this podcast. Sorry, like always, this is your Michael from Screaming and signing off. Happy Halloween.